Alrighty, good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the ASU Soul Singers, thank you so much for being here with us this afternoon for Beats for Venezuela. So this concert today has two goals, the first of which is for us to share our musical stories with all of you, and secondly, to sing in solidarity with our friends at Beats Music Foundation in Venezuela. So 7 years ago, I had the privilege to live in Venezuela, and I was living in a neighborhood called La Caruciena, which is a low-income, low-resource neighborhood there, which suffers from a lot of gang violence and especially involvement of the youth in gangs. So we began Latidos Music Foundation, which means heartbeats in English, to provide children with musical and also dance instruction, and also a safe space to grow as people and musicians and artists. So since my time down there in Venezuela, our organization has grown to serve over 250 students, and we're now in 7 different neighborhoods there. So in La Caruciena, we give lessons at a house, a pretty large house, and so I have a couple pictures from our lessons that we give. So first, we have a percussion class, and next, we also have, we teach strings, and this is one of our dancers here. In addition, we also teach piano, cuatro, which is kind of a Venezuelan version of the guitar. And next, we also give a lot of concerts out on the streets. So one of the initiatives that we have is to reclaim public spaces, which have generally been taken by crime and violence lately. So what we do is that we set up in the middle of the street and we just perform. And we claim that space for art, and in the hopes that that produces change in the future. So as I said, we are currently giving lessons out of this big house in the middle of the neighborhood, and we are renting that space for very little. Unfortunately, that house is going up for sale. And in order to keep teaching there, we will need to purchase the house and make a down payment next month. So today's concert provides us with the opportunity to raise awareness about this need. And if you feel so inspired, I would really appreciate it. We, on behalf of Latidos, would really appreciate it. And there's information on how to donate on the program, and there are other means of donating as well, so if you have any questions about that, come find me afterward. We are also live streaming this concert, so we have lots of people from Venezuela live streaming in. So, saludos para todos ustedes, gracias por estar con nosotros. Y bueno, vamos a presentarles algunas canciones también en español, y además de eso, que me escriban para entender lo demás. Gracias. So, now to the music. Let's change slide. So, just as Latidos promotes a life of safety, security, and inspiration for children, our concert today celebrates what it is to be fully alive. So we have 3 sets of music. The first, Origins of Identity. The second, celebrating water as a source of life and healing. And the third, Songs of Resistance and Liberation. So our first set, Origins of Identity, tells the stories of children who are celebrating who they are. First, we have a children's song from Latin America, Los Pollitos Dicen. Then we have a musical setting of a poem by an 8-year-old refugee who asks her peers to please consider her more as just a refugee, but rather by her name, La Maya. And our final song of this set, La Sopa de Isabel, tells the story from a perspective of a young Dominican boy who just loves watching his mom cook soup, because then, of course, he can eat it. So, without further ado, ASU Soul Singers. We enter now into our second set. So this is Rushing Streams and Healing Rains. The first of our songs is Deep River. This is an African American spiritual, which is really dedicated to the river, which is in moments the Jordan and other moments the Mississippi, which is especially for the slaves of the American South, a symbol of freedom and a symbol of life. Next we have Famine Song, which tells the story of the Sudanese basket weavers of the 1980s. There was a very intense famine in the late 1980s in South Sudan, and when crops were no longer a viable means of economic sustenance, the daughters and mothers of South Sudan decided to weave baskets in order to make money for their families and also pray for rain in the middle of this drought. Our next song after that is Yamaya Asesu, which is a song of praise for the Yoruba goddess of the oceans, streams, and rivers. So please enjoy. Our final piece of the water set is very special because two of our very own soul singers created it. So we have Kim Norris, who wrote the text for this piece, and Addison Hill, who composed the music. So each one of them is going to say a quick word to give you some background. So Kim first.
All right, thank you for coming today, everyone. My name is Kimberly Norris, and I wrote the lyrics for the Water Goes Wherever It Will, which you are about to hear performed for the third time ever. I am still so proud of myself. When composing these lyrics, I channeled one of my all-time favorite poets, Winnie the Pooh, on the subject of the river central to so many of his tales. I dipped into memories of my own child, when Pooh was my best friend, where water, specifically in a flowing form, played a crucial role in developing my interests and desires. I hope to have conveyed a sense of simple, childlike wonder at the constant, unyielding flow of the river, with tributaries into curiosity, imagination, and above all else, the certainty of uncertainty. I believe Pooh's good friend A.A. Milne described it best. Rivers know this. There is no hurry. We shall get there someday. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Addison. I think Kim said it really well. This piece kind of wrote itself because of how wonderful Kim's words were. And so something I kind of tried to pull when I was writing this is the idea of certainty, or coming to terms with uncertainty and being calm and collected in times of, fear. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Down by the river, no
So this brings us to our final set, Resistance and Liberation. So this section highlights stories of those who have overcome oppression and adversity, inspiring us to do the same. The first song is Harriet Tubman, which celebrates this famous founder of the Underground Railroad, known to deliver many slaves from the South northward to the Free States. And you will hear throughout this some sounds of a train to continue the metaphor. Our next piece is Captivity, which tells the story of a caged bird who is finally freed. This piece is written by Rachmaninoff, and the text is in Russian, and it is particularly poignant to us these days. And we sing this in solidarity with the people of Ukraine in this time of Russian invasion, and we sing it with hope that the invasion comes to an end very soon. And finally, we also sing Kuwa, which means strength in Arabic. This also tells the story of a caged bird longing to be free. In this case, the composer reflects on her father's experience of oppression living in Palestine and his ultimate search for freedom in another country. So please enjoy. now going into our final two songs here, we have two final Puerto Rican bomba pieces. So this is a tradition that came out of the West African slave trade that was brought over to Puerto Rico. And the slaves that lived there on the plantations would often gather at night to dance, sing, and play percussion. And all of this together is bomba. Today we only have the percussion and the singing, but it will give you some idea. So our first one, Campo, really sings to the land. And it's kind of this cry of desolation and saying, I am coming to the land, I am coming to our community of bomba to sing and feel inspired. And then our final piece, Si te preguntaran, is basically says, if they ask you where I am from and what my first and last name are, do not tell them. So we have the lyrics for these up on the screen as we have had for the rest of the performance. These lyrics are very special because Ileana and Karen and myself wrote the lyrics to the verses. So we really hope that you enjoy, and we thank you so much for being here with us today. Saludos también para todos ustedes en Venezuela y espero que les guste estas canciones de Puerto Rico.
Cuando yo vivo triste, Teresa was going to happen, but unfortunately, Teresa will no longer be with us at the end of this year. This is her last concert with us, and we are just so grateful as a choir to be able to sing with her and to have her as our director. I'm Leora, by the way. I'm the president, or the soon-to-be former president of Soul Singers, and so before you depart and have your wonderful journey in the other things that you do, we have gotten you a gift from everyone here. Please open the box in front of everyone, please. We have a wonderful baton here for Teresa to bring along with her. And when she opens it, you guys will see how beautiful it is. It is a baton with a blue handle, and on the handle it is engraved, "The water goes wherever it will," so that you are always going to be with us whenever you conduct your future choirs. You also go to a plant. The plant is also important. The plant. Thank you so much for everything you do, and please give her a big round of applause.
Thank yous, first of all, to Alfredo for hosting us here. He really handled all of the logistics of getting us in here, so thank you, Alfredo. Thank you also to Mackenzie, our pianist. Without Mackenzie, none of this would be possible, and she is just incredible at what she does. Thank you, last but not least, to Michelle, our graduate artist. Michelle is our choral director in her own right and has really served as a mentor to me this year, and secondarily, thus, through me, to the rest of the choir. So thank you, Michelle. So without further ado, si te preguntaran,